I've always wondered if I could see my eyeballs move before they move. Like when I move my eyeballs, I don't see them move because I'm watching one fixed place on the screen. I got to snap back quickly. Hey, just an announcement. I'm going on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Apparently, I'm in the reject room, room number 2, the shit room. I don't know if it's the shit room or whatever it is, but obviously, this is the way this whole thing works. You understand, gentlemen, ladies out there, that this is the most incestuous business there is. And I love that word because here we are all talking about how awesome we are, right? So, what gives these guys this incentive to tout other people's wares and other people's ideas? We're all claiming that we know better than the next guy, correct? Now, I'm not going to make any, I'm not going to pretend. As soon as I get on the air, I'm going to tell everybody how much smarter I am, how better I am, and how nobody should listen to anybody else except for me. So I might be banned from this event within 5 to 10 minutes because I'm going to rip shit up. Because unlike anybody else, I don't care. If anybody signs up, I don't care if I ever trade again. I know what I know, and I'm going to say it like it is. And I appreciate everybody who appreciates the way I lay it down. Because one thing's for sure, if you owned AMD and Tesla, you've outperformed any money manager, anybody that went to school for this, anybody that's going to teach you about some indicator or some way of telling the future. From Ralph Acampora to my buddy JC Peretz, we know nothing. The market goes up every single day. Nobody is outperforming the market right now, and there's nothing you could do about it. So what I teach is how to be liquid. Again, I should be called the scaredy cat trader, because if you don't want to have your money in the market right now, what I do is the greatest thing in the world. I wait for one specific setup. And Friday was a test of your strength, the test of discipline, the test of the fear of missing out. It seems like there's a million things going on, but there really wasn't. The market never goes down, but how come you're not making all the money in the world? But through all that, the greatest market you've ever seen, all I do is look for shorts, because that proves to me that I know what I'm doing. And I know that setup works. And usually it's a gap that fails, that rolls over it. So the stock I'm talking about was Schlumberger, right? That proves that I know something about what I'm talking about. That proves that VWAP reversals work. It also proves that you can make money in every market. But right now, email me right now to my private email address, thewarlock@hitthebid.com, and I'll send you the link to get to the room tomorrow or tonight. All right. The bottom line is, when I talk about these trades, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys that are going to watch this video later, when I talk about these trades that work 80% of the time, what does that actually mean? That means the trade worked. If you shorted Schlumberger at the price that the VWAP and our multi-day VWAP got triggered, or broke down under those levels, tested the levels, and then rolled back over, that entry right there provided you with a profitable trade. And that trade works 80% of the time. Lately, it's been 90% of the time, but it's very specific. It's an earnings report. It has to do a certain thing. It has to be around the VWAP, around the multi-day VWAP, and it has to fit one or two other criteria, which is what we teach. If you could just do that trade, you can't fail. But let me refresh that statement. Of course you can fail, because 20% of these trades do not work. And the reason everybody fails at this is that you want every trade to work, and you sit there confused, dumbfounded, and shocked that this trade that's supposed to work 80% of the time is not working. So in there lies two reasons why everybody fails. You don't want to take that loss because you can't believe it's actually happening. Wait a second, I thought this works 80% of the time. What the hell's going on? And you sit there and you let the loss go get bigger and bigger and bigger. So let's say you have 3 of those 80% winners that won earlier that day, then that one that's not working turns into this awful trade, but you're supposed to sell it if it goes back against you at the levels that we teach you, and you take the small loss instead of the large loss. So that's why this thing could work 95% of the time, but you're still going to fuck it up somehow because we all do the same thing. Or in my case, where I've done this many a time, I choose the one that I want to go big on, and therein lies the problem again. What if the one you choose to go big on, losing your focus on risk management and dollar management and money management, what if the one you choose that you're going to go huge on is the one that consistently doesn't work? That's just bad luck for you. Now combine that with, oh my God, I don't want to take this loss, and this is the biggest trade I've ever put on. Suddenly you've taken the trade that works 80% of the time and you've blown your account up. That's how it happens. So I just want to address one guy, and this is not a hater. He has a perfectly great question. How come I can't find any proof that you trade? How about this, my friend? I've never put a trade on in my entire life, and I don't plan on putting on a trade ever again. So let's use analogies because my buddy loves analogies. Let's say I'm Ted Williams or Joe DiMaggio or Tony Gwynn or the greatest hitter of all time. And I just had an amazing career in Major League Baseball. I'm in the Hall of fucking Fame. I'm the best. Nobody would question that. For 12 years, 15 years, Jim, what's up? I got your message. For 12 to 15 years, I've been batting .325, kicking the shit out of the market, just beating up on the ball, I meant to say, rocking. I retire. I'm enshrined in the Hall of Fame. And then a couple of years later, I say, you know what? I want to teach some kids how to hit. I want to teach some kids my swing, and maybe I could teach them how to put their weight forward at a little bit better of an angle and maybe keep their elbows up and show them a little bit of what I've learned and what I knew. Obviously, some of it is inert because to be a good hitter, you have to have some natural ability. Some guys, no matter how much you teach them, not going to be able to hit, right? But as a father, and as his son is being instructed by Tony Gwynn or Joe DiMaggio or Ted Williams, 3 arguably the greatest hitters of all time, am I going to say, you know what? Fuck you, Ted. You don't even play baseball. What do you know about hitting? Tony, beat it. You haven't played in 15 years. What do you know about hitting a baseball? I know you almost hit 400 that year. And then George Brett says, hey, how about me? Screw you, George. You don't play baseball either. Why do I need to know anything about what you know? You see what I'm going with this? What's the point, right? All these videos, and also to all the negative people out there. And there's not that many left because you guys, I guess you could appreciate that I'm not trying to hide anything here. You know, I've called out these guys on YouTube to challenge me. Nobody wants to challenge me. And I'm sure everybody's a hell of a guy. I love going out. I love drinking. I love dancing. I love fishing. I love shooting. I love pretty much everything that everybody else does. I'm sure all of these guys, Gregory Mannarino, all the way to Harry Dent, and you psychotic right-wing lunatic, end of the world is coming every day guy. I'm sure you're probably fun to hang out with every once in a while because you're probably the craziest out of all of us. You're probably out of your mind, party animal, because you think the world's coming to an end any second, right? You're probably partying your ass off. Point is, I don't care. I don't care. It's partially I want to be as popular as you lunatics are, which are 2,000 people and 5,000 people and 100,000 people logging onto your videos. Partially it's jealousy and ego, but more of it is that I assume people are getting wronged by you. The charlatans of the world, or the doomsdayer guy who's been wrong for 10 years, or the guy that claims he's going to make you a certain amount of money every day. I'm thinking that maybe I could do some service. Of course, I want you to pay me for what I know. After all this time, I feel like I should get paid for what I know. But I'm the only one that's willing to throw it out there and say, hey, look, if you appreciate this, and again, this is all for my guy who wants to know if I trade or how to prove if I've traded or whatever I've done. If you're sitting in the same, let's say you're sitting right here. Johnny, I want you to buy Tesla options right here at 385, because if this stock breaks 350, not only is it going to go to 385, but it's probably going to go to 400 in the next month and a half. Buy the 385 call right here at $5, 10 calls for $5,000. If it goes to 8 or 9, sell 1 or 2. And then if it gets to 12 or 15, sell 2 more, and then let the rest run. And then if the thing breaks 385, you might get to 400, 450, and that's where this could be a monster trade. Oh, it's at 450 now. You can sell those options for $75. You still got 4 contracts left. Fantastic. You think Johnny gives a shit of whether I bought those 10 contracts at $5 after doing that careful analysis on the Tesla trade and getting into the January options there at $5? Sure, I shouldn't have sold them at 8 and 9 and 12. And that was my mistake, watching them then go to $150 per contract, which is insane. Now, $115 a contract. So no matter what you say, I'm never going to live that trade down, ever. But I do know at least 2 people that took that trade and did 30 times better than I did on the trade. And therein lies my dilemma. I don't want to feel this pain anymore. I don't want to short Schlumberger and first lose $100, then to make $180 back, and then be at the end of the day, I've made $80 on the trade, and then it finally collapses and I could have made $500. I hate that. I'm old. Every trade I want to work. I don't want to have to deal with waiting for it. I want instant gratification. I want to get paid as much as I possibly can get paid immediately, and that never happens. So I'm at the point where I enjoy teaching new guys about this whole thing, but I don't enjoy as much as putting my own money on the line, where I know that the QQQ is going to be up tomorrow and I'm going to make money on that. I know my stocks that I own are probably going to go up, and obviously US Steel is going to go to 0. I'm not in the US Steel trade anymore, by the way. I cashed out of the whole thing on Friday. I don't care about US Steel if it goes up to $15 or it goes to 0. But if you look at a chart on US Steel, why would you own this thing? Anyway, what I teach are actionable ways of creating a living and then maybe making it 20 years doing this. I'm not pretending to put any of these trades on. If you're in the room, you know I only take 20% of what I'm talking about. I can't physically do it. I can't trade Tesla and Beyond Meat at the same time. If I'm sitting there trying to trade and talk, there's no way. So I'm almost at the point where I vote none. I vote none. Does that mean I don't know what I'm talking about? And that's been the question this whole time, since 2007. I've wanted to have money and skin in the game. I've wanted to have all these trades on. Of course, they work. Sometimes I can't do it. But what I'm doing now is that because I'm so comfortable in talking about what I'm doing, I've given my account to 2 other guys. They're going to trade my money. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a transition where I believe I am worth what I believe what I'm saying is worth money. I let people listen in for nothing. If they appreciate that, I feel pretty awesome. I appreciate if they appreciate it, and then there's an exchange of goods and services, funds for goods and services, like a business is run. And most people up to this point, so now it's 12 years later, I have 0 complaints. 0 complaints. And no matter what you say out there, and again, there's not much negativity out there, right? There's not much negativity out there being thrown my way. I'm actually looking for a fight right now. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm looking to battle somebody. Nobody wants to take the challenge. So to you, my friend, I don't plan on putting on another trade ever again. I'm just here to supply information. Now, going back to the Ted Williams DiMaggio, Tony Gwynn theory, you're not going to say no to a guy that's already proven that he could hit if he wants to show you some tips. But of course, a guy that's proven he could trade, right? You don't want to take ideas from him. Therein lies the dilemma. But again, also, it's free for a time limit to see if I'm worth anything at all. So there's that. But then, wait, there was one more scenario that I wanted to talk about today before I fade away. What was it? What was it? I don't remember now. I guess I have to make another video some other time when I figure it out. So yeah, the correlations are there. I just invite you guys to come. So anyway, about this Wealth 365 event, right? I'm going to tear apart everybody. And they might just flip the switch and say, this guy can't talk. He's bad-mouthing the industry. So show up early if you're going to show up. I'm going to talk about the trade, the main VWAP trade. Obviously, I'm not going to get into the intricacies of it. I only have 45 minutes to rip and rant and rave. So what could it have been? Let's see. What could I possibly be thinking of that I can't remember right now? Hold on a second. The Ted Williams thing and the teaching of the trades. Seeing the trades live for free to prove that to you. There was one more way. How else could I do it? There was something I wanted to address. What could have been? Maybe you guys know. What else could I do to prove it, so to speak? Yeah, I mean, it's been sick. I mean, between the Qs, diamonds, shorting the UVXY, the UGAS, the story goes on and on and on. But if you still just use the earnings reversal trade around the VWAP and the multi-day VWAP, then you branch off from there, and then you could do anything you want. You have a little bit of flow, earnings flowing, or income bearing stuff. And then you could parlay that into other stuff, because right now it's just insane. I was traveling with only E-Trade card. They shut it down. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know, but I also made an announcement when the Apple card went live. I figured that was good for 50 points onto Apple stock, and here it is. People think that they just sell phones. They're a service company now. I mean, they're doing so much more, and then they're going to have a fleet of Tesla cars. You know, those guys are going to come together, and then it's all going to be in space. And then space is going to get taken over by Tesla, taken up by Apple. I can't say where the market's going to go. I think we're going to go consistently up for the next 5 to 7 years until there's. Yes, I only trade VWAP on the daily time frame. Always. I'm using almost like a tick chart, 1 minute charts, 5-minute charts, and then the daily chart. So I'll look at multiple time frames and multiple days all on one chart. And that's where you have the roadmap. So when a stock breaks in or breaks out, you have an intraday target, and then you also have the target for where the stock might go if it continues to follow through. But right now, whoa. How do I get the VWAP on the daily chart? Oh, because you only have the 1 minute. You need to get the code, the super special code that we have. Tune in or join up. We'll give you the code. We're featuring this Wealth 365. I had to package something together that was so mind-blowing and worth everybody's money that you couldn't possibly pass it up. So we're giving the code away, which usually just used to sell that for $1,000. So now you're getting one class, 3 or 4 months, and the codes for $9.97. Holy crap. And if you sign up now, it's even better because I don't have to share the money. Call me. Let me know what you want to do. The Warlock at hitthebid.com. The Warlock, my name, the Warlock at hitthebid.com. Give me your phone number. I'll call you tomorrow at 12:30. What's my answer? At hitthebid.com. The Warlock at, I don't know. Nah, I can't remember what that third thing was. Man, I'm so pissed off, man. That's also point of it. Yeah, I don't care about anybody anymore. It's true. It all started with me trying to save people from others. That's all. Yeah, Zach is running Zach is the reason VWAP is spreading. That's why I believe it's working. He's so hard at work building algorithms around the VWAP. That's why it works, man. The Warlock at hitthebid.com. I don't know if I'm spelling this right. By the way, you believe sports gambling? You know, I had a great regular season betting against the Jets and the Giants and betting on New England. Damn. I had the two team teas yesterday. All I needed was two close games. I got it in the first game, and then it came down to that field goal. I had Green Bay plus 14.5. The hook. I had it. And they kicked that field goal and ruined my bet. Oh, man. Yeah, but now I can't. I'm going to come back and say something. There was three things about me that not trading, if I am trading, and I don't know. Or the size of my trade. Like, what if I have 100 shares on, right? And the trade works. At the end of the day, I made $48 on a stock that went up 48 cents. It's a profitable trade, but I made a whopping 48 bucks, right? Does that make me a better trader or a worse trader? I don't know. I could go on and on and on about it. I think the information is what you're paying for. That's the other thing, right? Nobody, speaking of Zach and other companies, nobody questions the trade alert guy. Nobody questions the scanning system, right? You pay for a scanning system, right? It spits out ideas. Is the scanning system taking your trade? Is the trade idea robot taking the trade? Therein lies another problem here. So let's assume I sacrificed my hair and my sanity to become the all-knowing warlock of the matrix. And I could sit here and stare at the screen and spit out ideas, trade ideas on the stock, as well as option trades, if that's what you do, right? And I'm spitting them out, 7 to 10 of them a day. Some of them are good for 12 cents. Some of them are good for $2. Some of them turn out to be Tesla AMD trades. Why doesn't anybody question trade ideas? Are they taking all those ideas? Are they putting those trades on? Why doesn't anybody question the scanning company that sits there? They'll spew 50 ideas a day. Who takes 50 ideas in one day? Nobody. But if I could spit out 3 or 4 good ideas, suddenly I'm the guy that needs to be questioned whether or not I took those trades. The answer is going to be no from now on. So now you don't have to worry. I'm never trading ever again. And I believe now I will be even better at what I do, because I will have some vested interest in what I'm doing, because I'm going to have 2 kids trading my accounts, using my ideas. Obviously, we're going to do it on a small scale just to prove my point. So in theory, I am taking these trades, but I am not going to be doing shit, because right now it is a disservice to do anything where you have any risk whatsoever, because the market goes up every freaking day. And I'm annoyed, because these are the kind of markets where what I do gets diminished to the point where I have to just say, what's the point? I know there'll come a time again where the market has a little bit more volatility and you should know what you're doing. But right this second, these last 3 weeks have been absolutely mind-blowing. AMD, QQQ, Tesla, and Beyond Meat. And your year Again, if you're accustomed to making 50, 60 grand a year, grinding it out at 250 a day, right? Generally what I'm looking to do, 250, 300 a day by noon, never get dressed, never leave my house, have some investments at the same time. But let's say you're looking to make 50 grand, 60 grand a year. Remember, 50, 60 grand is not a lot, relatively speaking, for some people. But if you're only working 2 hours a day, making 60 grand a year with no expenses, 2 hours a day, 60 grand a year, 2 hours a day for 60 grand a year is not bad. But if you were in Tesla, AMD, Qs, Beyond Meat, with the option trades that we had on, we're talking about 350, 400 grand, which I know somebody already did. With an 80 grand account, he's up a $500,000. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. 80 grand worth of options. And we're not even talking about the PCG that the dude had, the US Steel short, the Bed Bath & Beyond long, the space, the AAOI, the list goes on and on, my friends. You see what I'm saying? The information is awesome. How you use this information, that's up to you. If you chose to go huge into Beyond Meat at the right time, your year could be over. It's fantastic. You don't need to trade anymore now. You could coast. Ah, here he is, my man. But they do work. That's the thing. Here's Mike. All right, good. It's a very convincing argument. But the fact that you call out the trades and have no emotional connection to the trade, you don't care if it works. But that's what you have to trade, as if you are a machine. That's what we teach. You're trading the VWAP. You're trading the heartbeat of the market. You're trading an actionable idea, and I'm explaining and demonstrating how to find them, where to place your trades, where you should offer them out, and obviously, if they don't work, where you should get out. There's not much more to trading. So I'm teaching people how to be emotionally disconnected from their trade, which helps them in the long run. And again, everybody has their opinion. If you think I need to be in all 8 of the trades that I was in, now we go into the next level. What if I had 1 share of every one of those 8 trades? Was I in the trade? What if I had 12 shares? If I had 1 share of a US Steel short at $11.18 and covered it at $11, I made 18 cents on the trade, literally 18 cents. I don't have a quarter to show you, but what does it prove? But then there's a guy who says, you know what, Kenny? I'm with you. I hate US Steel also. I'm shorting 20,000 shares here at 11.18 because your VWAP's saying this thing ain't going to stop going down to at least 10.50, 10.55. And he shorts 20,000 shares. He makes 18 cents on the first 5,000 and then another 5,000, another 5,000. He says, hey, thank you. I wouldn't have thought of that trade if it wasn't for you explaining it to me and showing it to me on the chart. How do I sign up? That's where I am right now. Supply the ideas. If you appreciate the ideas, then join me and my merry band of psychopaths and keep this thing going on and on. And inevitably, 10 years from now, I'll still be doing this because my skills transcend any market. The guys that are bullish, that never sell, they'll get their comeuppance eventually. If the market crashes, guess who's going to be? I'm not going to be happy about the Qs, but think about now. The QQQ, right? What's a crash? 20%? Think about how much the Qs have gone up now. Absolutely. Yes. Would you like me to read the testimonials for you? Again, those testimonials that you see on websites where they show a little picture and the little quote, right? Those are bullshit. I've got people telling me how I've paid for their father's hospitalization. I've got people that have told me I've changed their lives. So every time I speak to somebody and they appreciate what I've done, that's what keeps me going. That's why, again, to the skeptics and the haters, some guys are going to hate me just because I'm an asshole. My face. They don't like bald guys. I get it. But to the guy that wants to really know what's going on here, check it out. If the ideas are good and sound with entries, exits for the good and for the bad ones, there's not much more than I could provide. Also, to the guy that bought Tesla, when I said, listen, once this thing gets back over 250, there's no doubt it's going back to 385. And if it breaks 385, it has to go to 500. I know that was a bold call. I made it on a radio show as well. But I didn't do it. I was selling into the move. So I'm a schmuck. But the guy that heard me talk about it going to 500, who held it, he thanks me. And I appreciate him thanking me or her. But I'm a schmuck anyway. There's my favorite stock in the world, AMD and Tesla. And what did I do? I'm selling into the moves like a regular trader, like a guy that's short-term minded. Because again, there's the dilemma with this market. It's been so good for so long. I still think it's going to go on, but I'm still short-term. I'm short-sighted. I see the money. I take the money. That's why I own the QQQ. That's the ones. That's the ones. The Qs I'm never selling. So go back to this crash. Let's say the market crashes. Oh, how's your Qs doing now? Where are we? 224? 10% off the top is 22 points, right? Woo, that would suck, right? 22 points gone overnight. Imagine a 10% crash, right? Yeah, man, I appreciate that. See, normal conversation is what I always wanted out of all of this. I don't want to fight with people. I mean, some people I do. You know who you are. The criminals out there. I would love to fight with them and expose them, right? I love leaps. That's why I got leaps on the AAOI. I got leaps on the space. If I don't want to be in a stock and I don't want to risk as much as I want as owning a stock, that's where I buy the leaps. That's why when I bought the Tesla, I was thinking long term, so I went out and bought the Januaries, and I never thought it would happen that fast, obviously. But I'm in leaps in AAOI. I'm leaps in space. But right now, we're going into earnings season. Schlumberger proved to me that you don't need to be in this market that never goes down. I get it. You should be. You should be in this market in some respect because it never goes down. But if you can't get in now because you feel like you've missed so much, you haven't missed anything. Because with the Goldman Sachs earnings reversal on Tuesday, we had an option play to make 6 times your money. 6 times your money in one day, right? So let's say you say, hey, here's the earnings reversal. I'm going to take part in this Goldman Sachs earnings reversal because I've been waiting for 7 years to finally take one of this bald schmuck's trades. And that's the one. Even though I've told you not to load up on any trade, you said, fuck this. I'm loading up on the 142.50s on Goldman Sachs because he says if it breaks the VWAP and the multi-day VWAP, we're going to go up. And that's what you did. You bought 200 contracts at $1.50. You went nuts and the stock went up to 150 and you at whatever it did, and you made 8 times your money, 6 times your money, and now you're thinking earnings reversals are the greatest thing in the world. So you've missed the greatest 10-year bull market, but in one day you've made all the money you would have made in 10 years. That's why these earnings reversals are amazing. So let's go back to Schlumberger, right? The stock was $39. $39, right? Chopping around, gets to the first multi-day, can't break it, and then starts to roll over. Back through the 1 minute, back into the negativity. And after I show you, if you get an earnings reversal on a Friday, the options are about to expire. You can get nickel dime options. Then if the stock moves 50 cents on a 5-cent option, you've just made 10 times your money on a stock that just moved 70 cents. And that's what happened with the Schlumberger. So for every market that we've missed, and that Tesla is a guy. I mean, my cost average, I only had 4 contracts at one point, and my cost average wasn't $5. I bought them at $8.75, and then I was in at $12, right? So what was it, $6,000 or $7,000 worth of options? Do you realize that that was worth that $7,000 worth of options at one point, if I had held all of it, was worth about $178,000 since I got out. It's insane, right? It was like 22 times your money, something like that, 23 times your money after I got out, which was nuts. But every week we find new ones. So that's why my wife, she sees the look on my face and she knows already what happened. Something you sold out of that you just told everybody about, went up after you got out. And even though I've been married for 20 years and she's seen me through every one of these phases, she can't appreciate the pain. The pain. That late field goal yesterday, that's kind of like the pain that this Tesla trades it. You're sitting there ready to count the money, and then Green Bay's going, and they're gonna cover the spread. And next thing you know, turnover, they kick a fucking worthless field goal, and there goes the money. Bye-bye. I had a 2-team tease. 14 with Tennessee and 14 and a half. I had the hook. All they had to do was not do anything. I had the money. Anyway, the hell was I talking about? Schlumberger, right? So there you are, Schlumberger on a Friday where there's nothing going on. Market's kind of dead. We're in some UVXY puts, hoping it crashes into the close. We wound up throwing about $116 away on those also. They were sitting there at a penny. We had to take a shot of the 1050s or whatever they were, or 1150s. But Schlumberger, yeah, man, everybody out there, come and join us tomorrow. And I haven't even mentioned, somebody said, are there guys on the site? There are guys that have been with me for 7 years, 10 years, one guy. And now he's been teaching other people what I've taught him. That's why no matter what happens, I feel like I've succeeded. I've taught people now where they are now the teachers, which is awesome. And he's good at it, and he still has that fire articulating that stuff. And he's now taking coding. He knows more than me because he knows how to code it and translate what we're saying into the code and put it on the chart and get the scanner to work and get the alerts to work. I'm like an idiot. I'm just doing, I'm just spitting out ideas. He's making it happen. And he's just part of the website. So now when you join, you get him too. It's twice. I feel like I'm doing an infomercial. If you thought it was good at this price, we're going to throw in Solid Jello and the codes for the low, low price, and you get this free book. Don't forget the book. And also, if you act now, you get a fresh new bottle of tropical fruit Tums. For every trader gets a stomach ache at least once a day. Tropical fruit Tums. You'll need them. Trust me. But yeah, option commissions. Oh my God. Now that's why I'm trading more options now. Because now I could peace out. I don't have to worry about the commissions. I could get out one contract at a time and not have to worry about it. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And now I could sell contracts. Back in the day, we were so stupid with the risk that we took. We would sit there on a Friday expiration and sell hundreds and hundreds of naked puts or calls, hoping that the market would get pinned at a certain price, exposing us to this amazing risk. And we were paying $2 a contract. $2 a contract. So we were laying out $200 on every trade. It was so stupid. Unbelievably stupid. exposing us to huge risk and taking these massive commission hits just to make a little bit at the end of the days on Fridays. Now you could do that. The risk is still the same, but now you pay nothing. I did 50 contracts on the UVXYs. They were sitting there at a penny, I think 2 weeks ago. Right? 2 weeks ago, there are UVXY options. For some reason, with 20 minutes left in the close, they were sitting there. I think they were 2 cents, about $1, maybe 80 cents out of the money. So I was like, how could there even be a 2-cent bid? I get it. Maybe something's going to happen in the last 20 minutes of the day. But I sat there, I hit the 50 contracts for 2 cents. I took in the money, and then they expired worthless. I get to keep the money. But if you're paying commissions for that 50 contracts, it takes away half the gain, maybe more, depending on what you're paying. Anyway, I'm on the cheapest platform there is. When I first started trading options religiously, I went to a company called Options House. Options House was the cheapest at the time, right? They got me in after I negotiated. It was $5.99 for the first 10 contracts, and then 15 cents per contract on top of the 10. So it was $5.99 for the first 10, and then anything over 10 contracts, I paid 15 cents per contract. Couldn't find a better deal on earth. They got bought out by Options Monster. Options Monster got bought out by TD Waterhouse. TD, I think it is. They bought them out. E-Trade. So E-Trade owns them now. So I'm officially trading on E-Trade, but the old platform. So now there's no more commissions, but you got to still pay the 15 cents. So now it's just 15 cents. So 10 contracts cost me $1.50. It's awesome. 10 contracts for $1.50. So incredible stuff. I mean, this free trading is pretty good. I don't like the free trading when I'm trying to trade the stocks because I'd rather have my market makers and a little bit of better access and better execution. I'm not quick enough to type and retype and retype. On my other platform, I could just click, and I'm sure I could probably build a better platform around E-Trade and use that solely and get free trades. But again, I don't trade anymore. I don't have to worry. I will trade. And that's the point I want to get to the end to end this conversation. So anyway, Wednesday at 4 o'clock, if you haven't signed up, let me give you the link one more time. You guys know what I'm going to do. The link to the Wealth 360 thing. I should have it handy, but I don't. Hang on a second. I don't even know where I put it. Oh, okay, wait, let me see if I can find it here. 365. Here we go. And again, I'm starting to find that this was all just one big data grab. Have I seen Uncut Gems? I am Uncut Gems. I saw that movie like the night it came out because somebody bootlegged a copy and put it on those websites, the free websites. I've watched every new movie there is now for the last couple of days. Oh my God, you could smell it through the bag. I got a nice Buddha sack, and I just sat here watching movies for 3 days straight. $19.17. If you're going to choose between $19.17 and Midway, go with Midway. Midway is all action. I'm not going to say $19.17 is not a good movie. It's just not that good. It's good. I wouldn't watch it again. Midway, I'm going to watch again. Uncut Gems, I've already watched it twice. watching Uncut Gems, the first time will never be the same the second time because that's how good of a movie it is. You are literally having a panic attack while you're watching it. You're. I don't know if smoking weed was actually a good thing to do for that movie because I was freaking the fuck out. I mean, it doesn't look as good as it is, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just went back to the dries, you know. I don't know. I kind of getting fearful of all that, the vape. I feel a little congested when I do the vape. I think it might be psychosomatic because I'm so paranoid about smoking that vape now. But this has been a decent, you know, if you guys are into the vapes, this has been a decent brand. They're proven. They say they're lab tested. It's from San Diego. I gave away my edibles. The crazy thing about edibles, what it does to one person, it does nothing to somebody else, right? So I had these chocolate-covered espresso beans that were 5 milligrams, right? And I was giving them out at my New Year's party, and my boy's like, wow, those were awesome. Me and my wife, we had the best time. I was like, how many did you take? He's like, oh, we only took 1. I took 3 of them, and I barely even caught a buzz. So I just gave them to people. And it's amazing how one person, and I guess I smoke more than these guys, but the edibles, the only edible that really has done me justice is the Dank Nugs. If you guys are into the edibles, Dank Nugs, find them. Best. They taste awesome too. They look like little nuggets of weed, but they're chocolate with a little caramel. They have another one, it's like a blueberry something or other. Dank Nugs. Awesome. Awesome. Every other edible. Nah, I had the gummies. I've had the Sour Patch Kids. I've had the strips with the, Dank Nugs. The best. Anyway, what the hell are we talking about? So the Schlumberger trade, right? Going back to that. Here you go. You got a 39-cent put sitting there at 15 cents that nobody even cares about. And then next thing you know, rolling over. And you're getting your dollar out of it. You know, 15-cent option goes to $1. There's your bull market for 3 years, all in one afternoon. And again, I'm not saying it'll be loading up, but these trades are out there. It's unbelievable. And there's going to be 1,000 more this week. So am I jealous of this market? Obviously. I mean, I'm the one who said AMD to 50 in the first place when it was $3. I'm the one who said Tesla to 500 when it was breaking 250. And I got nothing to show for it except for the Qs. And it's not even doing it. It's not doing me justice right now. You know, this should have been the best 3 weeks of my life. And I'm too busy promoting this Wealth 365 event. So going back to this event, right? Oh, I mean, I'm buried. I like my time slot. 4 o'clock, right at the market closes, bang, we'll get into it, right? 4 o'clock, room 2. I don't know what that means. I don't think I'm on the main stage. I'm at Lollapalooza. I'm on the side stage somewhere with the emo kids and the rejects. Guys doing whippets in the corner somewhere. VWAP. I'm on stage 2. So you got to dig for me, I think. So sign up Wednesday, 4 o'clock, stage 2. I'll be there. Get there early in case I say something off-putting or offensive to anybody. Because I'm gonna just tear this shit up, man. I'm gonna tear it up. And most of the stuff that I say is first an indictment on myself. As one guy said, you just told me not to do what you do. Right, I did. In these last 3 weeks, trading has been kind of pointless because all you had to do was own Tesla, the Qs, the diamonds, and AMD, and you rock and roll. Right? But inevitably, skills do come back into play. And knowing the earnings reversal is awesome. I mean, we're 8 for 8 so far. 8 for 8. However many earnings reports have come out, maybe 40, 8 of them have already had that setup where we've made money on. Schlumberger, Goldman Sachs, Bed Bath & Beyond. I forgot the other ones. I'm going to have to go look. But awesome. 8 for 8. You know, and then you had a couple other massive ideas sprinkled in there, like the space. I can't believe it went to $16. I mean, I thought 16 was my target for the end of the year, and it went there in 2 days. It's unbelievable. My stage name, I don't know. I'm using the Warlock. Nah, but I go by Kenny Glick, I guess. I don't know. My stage name, Mordecai. I used to dress up as a crazy Jewish guy and go up on stage and just tell really awful Jewish jokes. People were like, wait, aren't you a Jew? Why are you making fun of Jews? Because I'm Jewish. I can do it. You guys can't. Anyway, so yeah, Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So if you sign up here, copy. Let's see if this works. So this is the sign up for the main event. So I get credit for you guys showing up. Once you get your ticket or you download the app, right, I was told you would get a notification when I go on. I don't think it's going to work that easily. You got to go dig for me on the schedule of events. There's people doing live right now. I don't know why would anybody want to sit there all day and listen, but hopefully people are going to be around at 4 o'clock. You know, I'd rather be doing it at the close when there's nothing to be distracted by, except for earnings reports coming out. So I'll probably talk about earnings reports a little bit, but I'm just going to tear into the industry about how nobody knows shit. And some people get offended by that because I know somewhere many, many years ago at this point, Goldman Sachs proved that they don't know shit, and they prove it every year. And Goldman Sachs, and again, I use Goldman Sachs as 10,000 firms out there, but Goldman Sachs, everybody knows Goldman Sachs. They control this whole thing, right? But they've already proven they don't know anything. They downgraded AMD 3 separate times with a sell recommendation under $10. They said the stock was worth 2, 4, and 5 at best. 3 different times. And then if you fast forward 10 years later or 7 years later, Goldman Sachs, December 2018. Right. Goldman Sachs, 2018. Goldman Sachs, December 2018, while the market's going down, said this is what you should expect in 2019, and it could get even worse. Global recession, the market may have seen its best days. Goldman Sachs, December 2018, proving nobody knows shit. Think they'd give me a job at Goldman Sachs? They laughed me out the door. I could probably make cold calls for them, maybe. I know more than any of those guys. But because I don't know somebody that knows somebody in the industry, because my dad's uncle's sister isn't fucking somebody that knows somebody to get me in the door, I'm never getting a job at Goldman Sachs. And I know more than those guys because I was upgrading AMD every time. And I'm still upgrading it. And I've been upgrading AMD. Now it's not as exciting as a trade at $50, obviously, from 3. I upgraded Tesla at 285 for a $500 target. It's not as exciting anymore. The stock's at 500. I love Natalie Portman. I've already sent her an email in case she ever gets divorced. She's on my list. Kate Beckinsale, Natalie Portman, and the girl that was the cigarette girl in the movie Aviator. Go check her out. She comes over, cigarettes, and Howard Hughes, tells her to go back to the room. She's actually, I forgot what her name is. She was a model. Josie Moran. Those are my 3 get out of jail free cards. If Natalie Portman was to show up at my house, the thing is now I've got a shot, I think, with Kate Beckinsale because apparently Kate Beckinsale has lost her mind. She was dating Pete Davidson, which just qualifies anybody as a lunatic. I mean, I'm sure he's a hell of a nice guy, right? Weird dude. But dude, that dude is one horrifying looking guy. And I'm probably just as funny and a little bit better looking. So Kate, if you're out there, look, whatever you want to do, I could still dance. We'll go out clubbing, whatever you want to do. You're having a midlife crisis. Take me with you. Take me with you, Kate Beckinsale. I will save you from the next Pete Davidson mistake of your life. Take me with you. I have my own money. I could cook. I don't even need ED drugs yet. I will. I could feel it coming. But I got a good 10 years. And then there's drugs for it. Don't worry. I'll be right there for you. Natalie Portman, if you're out there, loved you since The Professional. Good stuff on Saturday Night Live, amazing. The thirst is real. All right, I gotta go shopping before my wife comes home and beats the shit out of me. You know, I gotta do my chores and whatnot. And to the guy that wants to see the, I'm going to go get my Range Rover clean right now. There's a guy, I think I told you guys, he didn't want to join our room because I don't drive a fancy car. Well, you know what? I still have my 2010 Challenger and it's still in awesome shape. And that's the car that I like. And I'm getting a 67 Chevelle Resto mod eventually. But my wife got the Range Rover. Sick car. I'm not going to say I don't like it. Do I need it? Do I want it? I was raised on knowing the difference between need and want. I don't need shit. I need money to travel and go be entertained. My wife's all about stuff. I don't wear watches, jewelry, nothing. All right. But anyway, if you want to see a picture of my Range Rover, I will. If it means you signing up to the room after you've been emailing me for 7 years, this guy wants a free trial every 6 months. He's like, hey, can I come back? I never took advantage of the free trial. No. You're off. You're off the list now. But yeah, Uncut Gems. If you haven't seen Uncut Gems, see that movie. If you want to sit through Parasite, Parasite was awesome. Parasite, better than 1917. All right. Midway, phenomenal. Again, Midway is the kind of movie where it made me feel less of a man. I mean, I'm not very manly at all. But when you see what these kids did to save the world, I mean, watching the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan, that kind of thing, Midway, it's real. It's good. Midway, great. 1917, all right. Uncut Gems, phenomenal. Parasite, phenomenal. Parasite, great movie, totally twisted. It was a good movie. You got to sit through the subtitles. What else did I watch? All The Mandalorian, phenomenal. And if you guys want to see, if you could sit through some porn commercials, I'll give you this link here. The best free website, and you know if it's free, it's for me. And I'm being asked to update. Don't ever update. Don't ever let them know your information. But here, hold on. Right here, probably doing something illegal by giving you this link, but I'll do it anyway because I'm crazy. They are associated with some sort of pornography. All right. So every 20 minutes, a woman with a dildo wants you to sign up for a survey or something. And that's how big the dildo is. She's waving it in your face. It's got to be like 3 feet. You don't want to be around people when every 20 minutes that commercial for the porn stuff comes up, but it's free movies and most of them are in HD. So, I mean, I've watched everything. I watched The Mandalorian. I watched 1917, Terminator Dark Fate, which was good. Ford versus Ferrari, which was amazing. I haven't got to the Star Wars because it's not a good copy. I watched the movie where the two black guys, the black guy and this girl, they just met and they killed a cop and they're on the run. That was a good movie also. Milo and Queen or something like that. 1917, Midway. Queen and Slim. Good movie, sad and true, you know. I haven't watched that Pope one yet. My wife wants to watch that. What else? I watched Mandalorian. What's the other series? Oh, Star Trek. The new Star Trek Picard is going to be on there too. So basically anything you want. You just got to sit through a couple of pornography commercials. Worth it to me. Didn't work for you? Hang on. No, it worked. That link works. It's primewire.com. Prime wire. It used to be called Let Me Watch This, and then it became what they do is every time they get shut down, they relaunch as a different website. I guess because they're doing something illegal here. I'm gonna watch Richard Jewell next, and I've been watching on Netflix. I've been watching the Black Mirror stuff. That's just pretty good. Does porn help trading? I don't know, but you better if you've seen Wolf of Wall Street. You jerk off? Jerk off 3 times a day because I want to. Yeah, the HD. If it says either HD, it'll say HD, SD, or CAM. The CAM ones are annoying because you got the muffled sound and got people walking by the screen. But the HD copies are the promotional copies that they've let out into the industry for industry people, and somebody puts it online, and next thing you know, we all get to watch it for free. So yeah, I mean, I've watched everything. You know, I love go watch Parasite. You know, my wife she doesn't like to read while she watches a movie, but Parasite, awesome movie. I mean, some of these movies you can't watch again because you get some twists and turns that are not going to be the same effect like Uncut Gems, but Uncut Gems, like you're freaking out. You're freaking out watching the movie. You're literally having a freaking. I mean, especially if you gamble, you know exactly. I mean, there was a point to the movie where I was so scared that I wanted to fast forward to see what happens. I couldn't take it. Bugging out. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the day. I'll see you in the room tomorrow, and then Wednesday at 4:00. Come show up. Even if you're just coming, just root me on. You know, I'm going to just tear apart the industry. You know how I do it. And I'll, a good 20 minutes, half an hour worth of charting. And then I'm required to sell something. So if you wanted to buy anything, buy it now. So I don't have to share the income. What? And they probably don't want me saying that either. But what? What? Just being real. Anyway. I'll be doing another class probably 5 weeks from now. So we'll get around to doing that. And now I'm throwing the options in there because knowing the trade and then knowing what contract to buy that's it. You are set for life. You get an earnings reversal on a Friday, man, legitimately, you could trade only earnings reversals on a Friday. You only might trade 8 times a year, but chances are you're going to get 8 pretty nice trades and you'll be good for the year. That's what I'm saying. And again, we had some new guys in the room and they're like, what happened? This became a passive investing website. I'm like, lately, but wait for those trades. Discipline is painful. Discipline is annoying. Discipline hurts. Discipline is not fun. But when you wait for those trades and they consistently work, it makes waiting for them a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know. I could do it. I am going to do a Jason Bond pattern. I'm going to go to Brooklyn College and stage an event where I'm talking to Brooklyn College Business School, the Brooklyn College Business School. There isn't one. I'm not sure. Or I'll just have a business school. I'll have the Applebee's Business School. I'll just do a video at the Applebee's because that video was hilarious. That he tried to make that as if it's real. Did you guys find it yet? The Jason Bond Harvard Business School speech? You got to be kidding me. If he thinks that's legitimate, I mean, that's just, it's good stuff. It's funny. If he meant it to be funny, I love it. If he meant it to be tongue-in-cheek, genius. But if he meant it to try to pretend that he was invited to the Harvard Business School to talk about trading, then he's a delusional criminal psychopath, which is fun too, because we all are in a way. We all are delusional criminal psychopaths. I shouldn't show weed on my YouTube show. One guy's like, oh, this guy smokes weed? I can't listen to him. He's showing a big butt on the screen. What do those kids think? Yeah. I'm out of here. Watch this video again. The Zoom video, I don't even know. I'm not logging in. I got some other things to do. I'm going to hear my boy JC Peretz give us the dude, if you want to listen to somebody talk, JC Peretz from All Star Charts, he can ramble off 100 charts and 99% of them will be bullish. But that dude, he wakes up and all he talks about is charts until he till he goes to sleep. That dude loves charts, and he knows what he's talking about. That dude has been right about everything for as long as I've met him, and he's an awesome guy. JC Peretz, Brian Shannon, they're doing their thing today. So if you were going to tune in, Brian Shannon, the godfather of VWAP, he'll be talking, and JC Peretz, All-Star Charts, awesome dudes. And, you know, guys, if you're going to sit there, listen to somebody talk about stocks, at least, you know, someone that's been in the business for a long time who's getting it right. Those guys are getting it right. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And then we'll be talking about Apple and Google, and all the great earnings reports are going to be coming out. It's going to be the greatest 2 months of trading, I think, in the last 10 years. And if you were around these last 3 weeks, you had to be long to enjoy it, most of it. But I think we're going to get some volatility back into this market, inevitably. If it doesn't happen this month or February, I think if I was long this whole time, selling out into April, you know, Beyond Meat still might go to zero, but we had our fun with that from 135 to 75. I mean, I've been along for weeks now on that thing, which is crazy because that's trading. One day you're a hero, the next day you're a zero, and vice versa. I again, that's why I'm liquid right now. I don't have any AMD or Tesla or Beyond Meat. That was, you know, been a good time, but I'll try. I'll make the parody. I got to get the dark rim glasses. Eat, smoke, trade. Eat, smoke, trade. Eat, smoke, trade. I was a teacher, and none of the kids respected me, so now I trade, but I don't really trade. I pretend to trade, and then I teach people how not to trade, and I trade, and I smoke, and I trade. I trade, and I smoke. I smoke, I trade, and I eat. Or I eat, smoke, and trade. Or I trade and sleep and wake and eat. Something along those lines. And then I went to Harvard Business School. And I'm on a jet plane because I get $250,000 a month from you idiots who think I know how to trade and smoke. All right, I'm out of here. I think my wife's home. I got to go. See ya.